Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Realms. Today I'm going to take a look at a lot of stuff that got revealed at Comic-Con. I'm not going to cover everything, that's impossible, but I'm going to cover some things, and it's going to be a lot, so this is going to be a long video, but we'll cover some things that I saw that I really liked. I'm going to start off with WWE, and one thing I like, we see Teddy Long will be as a referee. Love it. And there's a whole lot of new stuff down the line, and it's gonna be a little jumbled because, like, I know I saw an Ultimate Mankind here, and it looked like another Ultimate Eddie Guerrero. I don't know what that's about. I just saw the prototype, so it's kind of funny. We've got another Legend series. This one really wins me over. You've got Bruno Sammartino with the podium. That's pretty cool. You have the Ultimate Warrior in his attire when he I believe that's the attire when he lost the belt to Sergeant Slaughter. So that's really cool. The Honky Tonk Man. Yeah, I mean, you gotta welcome the Honky Tonk Man in the collection, right? And one I've kind of been waiting for, just a regular old Terry Funk with an ECW title and branding iron, and rounding it out is Brutus Beefcake, with his Heart Foundation vest. Yeah, vest. So yeah, that's first time in a long time I've wanted a whole Legends wave, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, we did see Ultimate Roddy Piper before, but now we're getting a WCW version, which has his Reality Check t-shirt and Icon t-shirt. I cower over nothing. Love it. Damn. 2 eras of Piper. They're really cool. And of course, the previous Piper is, from his earlier days with George the Animal Steel. We've seen those before, but man, those are cool. And we just got better pictures of Piper at that point. Now there's this Then Now Forever Together 4-pack. It's kind of interesting. You get a version of Hogan. I believe that's when he first won the world title. You have a Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't know if that's supposed to be a specific time. You have the one that made me laugh, Rocky Maivia in his streamer outfit. It's one of the worst outfits ever. What the hell? That was when JR said, "That's Blue Chipper right there." Yeah, and then Becky Lynch in her, I believe they called it the bride outfit or something. So it's an interesting pack. I don't know if I'll get it, but it's interesting. I mean, I can see why they put it together. It's a lot of people who barely had any contact except for Rock and Stone Cold. The Rock and Hogan, I guess. Yeah, but them throwing Becky Lynch in there is kind of odd. Got another pallbearer, and apparently there's going to be a chase of Percy Pringle. Interesting. I don't know if that's actually Percy Pringle. It's supposed to be older pallbearer, but well. Hulk Hogan as Thunder Lips from Rocky 3. Funny. I don't know if it's funny enough to own, but it's there. Andre in yellow trunks looks a damn sight better than the Super 7 one. Of course, turds look better in the Super 7 version, with a WrestleMania 2 shirt, and he's going to have a chase with red trunks. The Iron Sheik, yes. Shame this had to happen after his passing, but at least he's in the line. Jimmy Hart, this opens the door to so many versions of Jimmy Hart. That actually makes me happy. I'm not going to buy this version of Jimmy Hart, but man, if they do some others, I'll be on board. There's also Hulk Hogan in his time in Japan. That's an interesting one. I might get this just because it's so different. It's kind of cool, actually. Captain Lou with the big record that Roddy Piper broke over his head that basically started the upturn of the 80s and made wrestling really cool. Then the Sultan. That's another one that's a one I didn't expect to ever see, to be perfectly honest, but I'm not mad that it's there. And of course we have another Ultimate Warrior. Why? Because Ultimate Warrior, dude. I mean, you know, I'm probably gonna pass on this one just for now. I may pick it up later. I don't know. And an Ultimate Yokozuna. I was surprised to see this one with a big old heavyweight title. I'm probably gonna grab that one. And now this one, 3 stages of Hogan. I feel like I have all these figures though in better form, so I'm kind of like, do I really need this? And I don't think I do. I think it's good that it exists for new collectors, but not something that I'm interested in. But I can understand it. There is the fake Diesel, Glenn Jacobs, aka Kane, as Diesel. When that happened, funny that they'll do it. I mean, if I see it, I'll get it. And then, of course, Diesel when he comes into WCW. Cool. That's just cool. They're doing that removable hair thing that G.I. Joe's been doing for a while. So, yeah, well, not a bad idea. But not a great idea either. Unmasked Rey Mysterio. I never liked this era of Rey, and probably going to pass on that. And then there's going to be a 3 Faces of Foley. And I think that's a good idea because it's like, you have Mick, Dude Love, and Cactus Jack. So I want to get it. I don't know if I will. And of course, there will be the Ultimate Heart Foundation. One thing I really like about this Heart Foundation is that Bret Hart, the render of the sculpt looks like it's going to be a new head. So I hope it is. Jim the Anvil looks dead on. And one of my big surprises was Asuka getting an Ultimate Edition. And Asuka as a wrestler, I've said before, I'm not a big fan of women's wrestling, but man, I saw her match with Bianca Belair and she was awesome. And that finish was just amazing. So may just pick this one up. I don't know yet. And of course there was the ladder match of the Amazon set. And at first I got excited and then I was like, well, okay, wait a minute. Let's take a look at this. I got a better razor, although the gear is different. That Sean's almost the same. The 2 belts is kind of cool. And then the ladder. It's at a fair price. I don't know. I'm going to think about that one. Stew on it for a bit. I do like that match gets such recognition here. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. And the Maivia legacy with Chief Maivia, Rocky Johnson, a casual. Now, I was talking about prototypes earlier, and guess what? They're doing Terry Bam Bam Gordy. And they're even including his Executioner gimmick, which I was like, okay. I don't really want an Executioner, but damn it. Terry Gordy. Yeah, I'll go with that, sure. Why not? And like I said, there was a lot of wrestling revealed on San Diego Comic-Con. And I know I'm missing a thing or two. I'm pretty sure. I thought someone said there was a Lex Luger with his first appearance of Nitro. That's kind of interesting, but I know I saw it in the booth, but I didn't know if it was a figure that was coming out or if there was something else going on with it. I guess we'll find out. We did see the Scott Hall. It looked pretty good. His first time on Nitro when he jumped over the barrier and said, "You want a wall? You're gonna get one." Okay, on the Indiana Jones front, they had nothing. Nothing. I thought this line was short term, and it's been confirmed. So, yeah, I know I'm buying Indy. I've already bought Indy. I'm going to buy definitely Henry and Short Round. Possibly Temple Indy. And that will probably, I might buy Last Crusade Indy. I might not. I don't know. But yeah, this whole, oh, we're really dedicated. No, you're not. This was something to Lucasfilm and Disney. Make us product for this. We want the merchandise. Dial Disney. After Dial Disney bomb, they just didn't care anymore. So, and they wouldn't have cared much after it. if it had succeeded either. I mean, it was just, we got to do figures, we got to do merchandise, and they did, and it was pretty. I mean, for the most part, the merchandise was kind of weak. I mean, I didn't get the Indiana Jones. I need to do my vintage short round video. That's a tough one, man. That is such a tough one. But I'll try to get to that really, really soon. And there's yeah, it's just disappointing on all levels. Very disappointing. I mean, it's very disappointing because they did a lackluster job. It's also very disappointing because they never finished the job, and they never intended on finishing the job. They just put out a bunch of stuff and said, okay, there you go. Very disappointing on every level. I wasn't expecting much, especially after the mess that the last indie toy line was. I mean, I think it could have lasted for a few years longer, and everything I've read since has said it was going to last for a few years longer, but their own distribution screwed everything up. So, anyway, I just lamenting about indie. Oh well. All right, and a lot of people, they're going like saying, hey, who won at San Diego Comic-Con? And it really depends on which YouTuber you're watching, honestly. Whatever their favorite brand is, they won. So I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. But do need to talk about the Cat's Lair. Lio Convoy was on with Retro Blasting and had some interesting observations about this. One thing I noticed in people talking about this, Lyle was talking about how the head is wrong, and I hadn't noticed this, but the pictures I saw in the booth, there's a couple of them where it looks like a dog. That's something you don't want to do. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not going to, sugarcoat my dislike of Brian Flynn and what he does with Super 7. But at the same time, it's like, for people who want this, I'm happy for you. I mean, you seem very excited. I understand. And, it's a tempting offer. But I just, still, at the end of the day, man, Super 7. Look no further than the Silverhawk situation that developed over the weekend. In case you didn't hear, all that time that Brian Flynn said we'd never get back metal, we got back metal. Yeah, we've got back metal. He's basically suckered everybody into buying 2 overpriced versions of the same character. Which for some people it might be, that's the nature of the business. I mean, Hasbro does that all the time. Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, it happens. When Hasbro does it, we complain about it. And we'd be complaining about it with Super 7. Some people won't. I mean, some people just accept it and move on. But, yeah, Cat Lair, again, Super 7. And I thought there was something that they lost the license or something like that. I thought that the Silverhawks was done with Super 7. Maybe I was hurt. I heard someone talking about it too during all this, so I was kind of like, what? So I don't know. I kind of got to this point where I'm like, just never mind, okay? Just never mind. All right, let's move on to something more pleasant. Okay, so Masters of the Universe. Masterverse seems to be focusing in on Revolution, which I'm fine with because I have no interest in that. I will say I like the Skeletor. Okay, that's kind of a cool variation on Skeletor. The design is good. Not gonna buy it. It's Skeletech. Not gonna buy it. But what I am gonna do, and boy, am I happy about this. First off, Man-at-Arms is getting a decent Masterverse figure. Thank God. He's got both mustache and clean-shaven faces, which I'm glad about that, because then, those of us who are back or forth, we can make our choice. But the real thing that caught me was Origin scale Filmation cartoon figures. And I like them. I like them a whole lot. A lot of people complained about the He-Man. I think the He-Man, you know, it's his normal resting face. It's fine. And a lot of people complain about the face, but man, you zoom in and it's like, yeah, no, that is Filmation right there. The only real flaw I see is like Skeletor has an overbite, a little bit more of an overbite than he should. But I'm not gonna make that bring me down. I'm locked in on this first wave. Some people complain about Tila and Man at Arms. Again, zoom in and yeah, it looks just fine. I think. Maybe that's me. I don't know. Maybe that's me. But I'm definitely a lock on this first wave. It's He-Man, Skeletor, Man at Arms, Tila, and Trapjaw. Will I be a lock-in for the entire thing? I don't know. We'll wait and see. But I could be. Masterverse seems to be slowing down for stuff I'm interested in. There's a Mechanic. I almost forgot about that one. I'm going to forget something in all of this, guys. I'm going to apologize now. I will forget something. It will happen. But, you know, bear with me. But we'll keep going here for a moment. And that's Masters of the Universe. I'm real happy with that. You know, yeah, I'm kind of slowing down on one side, but picking up pace on the other. So there you go. I hadn't bought any Origins at this point. I saw those and I said, there we go. That's the figures I've been wanting. That's exactly how I wanted He-Man to look. And Skeletor and everybody. So I'm happy about that. Okay, moving on. Let's touch on Star Wars. And wow, they had like a few Black Series, had a few vintage reveals, and it was like they mixed them all up. I'm going to stick mostly with the vintage just because that's my wheelhouse, man. And, you know, some people are like, but they're small. And it's like, yeah, but you get cool vehicles like the Ghost. Yes, the Ghost HasLab has gone up. It's $500. I do think it's a little overpriced. You know, that's me talking. I think you could conceivably sell this for $300. But, you know, it's what it is. And of course, the Rebels crew is going to be the tiers. You got Zeb, you got Kanan, you got Ezra, and you got Hera. So, you know, I mean, you're going to have the almost complete crew. You got a little bust of a Chopper in the Phantom 2. Not actually Chopper, though, so that's a little sad. But, hey, you know, I mean, these are going to, after the Ahsoka series, these are all going to come out on different cards. They said this is, you know, exclusive HasLab card art. That's all they really said. The figures do look good. I kind of hope to see them in the regular vintage line soon. Because, yeah, those really rock, and I wouldn't mind having them. They did have a Thorn on there, Grand Admiral Thorn. He looks really good. He's based off of Rebels. He doesn't look like Elon Musk, thankfully. There was a deluxe Sabine Wren that I could not find a picture of, but she's got a deluxe because she's got a loft cap. That's the only difference between this one and the Black Series one, which is normal price. I don't know. It's weird. I'm gonna move on. Anyway, the back to the Ghost though. The HasLab looks like it's gonna fund. I mean, and I don't blame it not. I mean, it is a cool vehicle. I like it, and it's got plenty of bunks and quarters and all the stuff you saw in the cartoon. So yeah, it works. Going on to figure reveals though, let's talk about Pre Vizsla. Worst name in Star Wars, or is it the best name? He also had a Black Series. The Black Series one looked like shit. This looks a little better. But I was trying to do a realistic take on a Pre there. Now, one of the ones I'm excited for is, of course, Darth Revan. And what's really cool about this, I bought the Black Series Revan a while back, and it's a really cool figure. And this one really works. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's got both the sabers even. Man, I just dig it. I was hoping they'd revisit this character after the traffic cone they tried to give us the last time. And yeah, they finally have. I can't wait to get this one in my collection. It looks like Vintage has popped up a little bit more in price point again. $16.99 now. Getting ridiculous, Hasbro. Let's get over that really quick. And the aforementioned Grand Admiral Thorin, of course. I do think this figure looks good. I don't know if I'll buy him, though. I'll debate it. But he looks really, really good. I mean, he looks really solid, really nice. I think I will buy him. Yeah, he just looks really good. And then there is a Imperial Officers box set. Yeah, I mean, you know, cool enough. I mean, I've seen a lot worse come out of Vintage, so it's like, you know, cool enough. I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna buy it, but I'm okay with it too. The only other thing in Black Series, they did show that it looks like that same R2-D2. This time it's not gonna have the Vintage packaging, so I don't know. Maybe I'll wait a little longer. Okay, and another big one is Marvel Legends. You know, they had some good reveals. You know, preview night, they had Detroit Steel. Don't know how I feel about that one. That one is like, you know, I said it before, I said it again, Detroit Steel is like when you wear Ironmonger from Wish and then give him the paint job of Iron Patriot. This one's going to depend on price point. And I'm a little nervous they're going to really up the price point on this. So, yeah, this could be painful. So, we'll see. We will see. Also had a female Hydra. On the last day they did show a female Shield Trooper. So that is a thing. It's going to be a 2-pack. Now, the big thing was the reveal, finally, of the Mindless One Build-A-Figure wave. Going to be a fan channel exclusive. We've got Daredevil here, which I'm not... You know, I didn't like this run of Daredevil, and I didn't, you know, it doesn't resonate with me. And as a result, I'm looking at it, I see that big gap in the knee when it bends. I'm like, ugh, no. Lady Bullseye, I think I've said this before, I hate the, you know, just attach a reverse gender onto something and just have a new character. Some people love Lady Bullseye. It's fine. I don't. I really kind of went on that. There was a Gamerverse Iron Man that was kind of curious. Looks like there's some reuse here from previous Gamerverse. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Honestly, I'll tell you what, I'm so unimpressed with this, I'm not really even going to worry about it. And I'm a big Iron Man mark, so, you know, when I say I'm passing on an Iron Man, you know something's up. There is the Fist Ninja. I don't know. I mean, some people really love it. I mean, I think the hooded skull is cool, but I think it could be better too. So, again, I don't know if I'm going to buy that one. I wouldn't hold my breath. They said they retooled some stuff, and I can't see it. I saw X-Mania's video. He said he couldn't see it either. One of the cooler reveals is Blade. Light Blade. He gets a crack ton of accessories, which is really cool. His sword does go into his sheath on his back, so that's good. I really would have liked an alternate head, but hey, it gave us so many accessories, why not? So that's a definite one for me. One I'm debating is Clea. It's a good looking figure, but it has some flaws. It has a stupid swirly effect that nobody cares about. And, well, I didn't really... X-Man, said the same thing. I did not mean to steal his line. Sorry about that, man. I shouldn't have watched your video before I did mine. This is why I very rarely watch videos of things I'm going to talk about before I do them. And, you know, she's got single joints in the elbows. Why we're still doing single joints, I have no freaking clue. But that's kind of a turn off. And I don't know, she's going to be in Doctor Strange 3. She's probably going to play a big part in Secret Wars. Charlize Theron's playing her, and I keep thinking, man, they're probably going to give us another one. But then I'm like, yeah, they never gave us one before, so it's like, tough call. So that's in my maybe. Of course, what's definitely a lock for me is Luke Cage, classic Luke Cage, aka Power Man. Love, one of my favorite comic runs of all time was Power Man and Iron Fist. Seriously, I mean, it was just a really cool comic run, all around. I mean, there was just so much good stuff going on in that comic, and that I want, again, people are going to say it's nostalgic. No, I mean, it just really was that good, and I still read it. I go back and read it again. I just really enjoyed it that much. So I was really glad to see this figure. And he looks great. I mean, he looks great. And now we just need classic Iron Fist with the big collar. Come on, Hasbro. You can do it. You can do it. All right, so it's 3 out of, what is it, 7 in this wave? I think it is 7. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good for me. Also, the X-Men 97s were shown. There was Storm, there was Rogue, there was Gambit, there was Wolverine, and there was Magneto and Bishop. So Storm, these two looks, I know this is going to be in the cartoon too. These two looks do not mesh with me. I'm going to leave that be. It's like to me, it's two separate looks. It shouldn't go together. It just looks weird. I'm probably going to say that when I watch the cartoon too. Moving on to Rogue. Yeah, a little bit different on the head, and the jacket is green, but nah, I don't feel the need to have her. I feel the same way about Gambit. I mean, there's just a little bit difference in the hair, and that's it. It's like, yep, been here, done that. Wolverine, however, like it. Totally pinless, and he's that classic Wolverine we all wanted, no cell shading. I don't hate my cell shaded one, but I'm gonna get this one for sure. Magneto, damn you, Hasbro. It figures you would do this after I bought that Manifex, because I know I'm gonna buy this one, just because I bitched about it so much, and I'll probably like it. Does look light on accessories, but still, it's Magneto. You gotta love Magneto. And they've been building up their Brotherhood all year, so that makes sense. And then, finally, Bishop. I'm gonna be honest, when I initially saw that they had cut his hair, I was a little upset. But then I got thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, no, this is a look for Bishop. I can live with it. They're probably gonna redo this on another figure with the long hair, so I'll get this one and enjoy the other one when it comes out. And, that way, in case they don't do it, I still have it. And it's a decent looking Bishop. It's not terrible. Not in the slightest. Again, more accessories, I think. But, really good figure. I like it. I'm going with it. Now, Rogue and Gambit and Storm are good subs if you don't have them already. For whatever reason. I think they would do good, and you would be justified in having those. So, not Marvel Legends, but Marvel Select. They have two really interesting offerings here. First up is Crimson Dynamo. Figures after I build-a-figure finally, they would do this. He might be a little bit too tall, though. That might be true. I am going to pick it up and just compare it to my Marvel Legends and just see. He might actually fit. You never know. I mean, that one Build-A-Figure is really huge. So, we'll see. I don't know. And then Annihilus, who's going to be perfect for Select. It looks like Select's starting to lean into the bigger characters finally. I'm glad to see that. They're still doing the regular size characters too, but, they're leaning in a little more, and I like seeing them lean in a little more. That Apocalypse was fantastic, if you ever saw it. I mean, that's ungodly great. So some other stuff they did have an MCU centered wave. I didn't even really say a whole wave. It might be even half a wave. They had Banner as Mark Ruffalo. Okay, I don't hate it, but I'm not gonna buy it. They also had Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, Iron Man Mark II. I liked Iron Man Mark II armor just fine. I don't feel I want to get it now, though. I don't know, just don't feel it. And then Black Widow, you could trade off her. I think she had another head sculpt. You could do Winter Soldier or might have been Iron Man. I don't know. Anyway, you could you had some options with her hair. I don't hate these, but you know, it's like I don't really need to go back into the MCU and grab a bunch of stuff. One that was a big shock. Nobody saw this coming. Crystar. What? Crystar? Really? Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just. And I admit, when I was her, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I was like, the more I thought about it, I was like, this might be a good one-off. I mean, yeah, you know, just pick it up. I mean, what's the worst that can happen is you don't like it, and then you decide not to use it anywhere and sell it off. I mean, that's the worst that can happen. So I'll probably get him then. They did a Marvel Boy, which this was right after they bragged they're doing teams, and it's like, oh, we got another one, New Warriors. Oh, we got a Marvel Boy. It's like, yeah, it's the wrong one, dude. It's just the wrong one. Yeah, it's just you missed the mark, and I'm about giving the Warriors whatever them ever being completed. Let's just face it. They're just not caring. But they were bragging about finishing the Squadron Supreme. I actually argue they haven't, but you know, some people disagree with me because it's a more modern take on them, blah blah blah. You know, this is Power Princess, who everybody says is Wonder Woman. I actually think she's a lot more like Big Barda. You know, sometimes, especially in her mannerisms. But anyway, you know, she's alright. I dig it. I'm not gonna buy it, but I dig it. You know, I like that it exists. You know, some things that exist. New Disney Plus wave. You know, you really didn't see anything I liked in that. The Build-A-Figure is this Hydra Stomper. I thought the Hydra Stomper looked cheap compared to the previous one, and somebody on a message board berated me for that because technology gets smaller. I'm like, that wasn't what I said. I said it looks cheap. Not the same thing. Not even the same category. And the guy acted like a jackass, but you know, that's Facebook groups for you. So an interesting showing up by Marvel Legends. I mean, some stuff I'm going to buy, some stuff I'm not. There we go. So I'm going to wrap it up with G.I. Joe since it was on the last day. A lot of people were very happy. I found it to be a mixed bag. I'm not going to say anything's bad. I just don't think they're as good as people make some of this stuff out to be. Spit my words out in a minute. So, first you had the Hiss Fire Team. Okay. Don't hate them. Don't hate them at all. Already a little tired of repaints though. I get that repaints, you know, help you save money and everything. But it's like, dude, how many of these do you have to do to keep doing them? I mean, it's like, you just did Range Viper, you just did, you know. I mean, some repaints, I keep bumping the mic, sorry, man. Yeah, if you're hearing anything, I'm bumping the mic, and I do apologize. Some repaints I get, and I'm cool with. Some I'm kind of like, why? And I get this because it's like for the Hiss tank, it's a fire team for the Hiss tank, and all that, and it makes perfect sense. One's a Range Viper, one's an officer, one's a trooper. It kind of makes sense, but I don't know, to put them all in one pack, it's almost like, I don't really want to buy a 3-pack. And, you know, there's 3-packs, accessories. I mean, the only thing that looks cool is the fire with the trailing on the rocket. That's okay. But the price tag is ridiculous, so I am going to have to say no. Okay, so moving forward. There were a lot of name drops. Jinx. Jinx and Torch. Yay. Okay. They said a retro Scarlet is coming. Yay. I hope she has a ponytail and doesn't have the boy bob of her original release. And then Duke. Okay, whatever. I don't mean to sound like an ass, but it's Duke, dude. I mean, they had some new figures. Tripwire, people kind of went nuts over this. I was just like, when I got to looking at him, it was like, when I first saw him, I was like, oh, okay, great. I got the press pick, don't make him look as nice. And then he has a pet rat. What? Why does he have a pet rat? I get the EOD robot. That makes sense. Why the hell does he have a rat? It's weird, and it's not very Tripwire-esque. Yeah, and I just said Tripwire-esque. It's a little different from the character, man. And of course, people are going to tell me, oh, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, no, I know my characters. And one of the ones that was enduring was Tripwire because he was so freaking clumsy. If he was not handling explosives, he was a klutz. That's his whole point. And it was funny in a way that was realistic. Because some people are like that. You get them focused on something specific, they're really focused. But they're clumsy outside of it. And that was a funny little quirk to a character I thought was pretty entertaining and pretty nice. And, I don't know how you put that in figure form, but definitely not with a pet rat. But anyway, moving on. Of course, my computer jumbles all my pictures. I'm editing my silence out. Okay, here we go. Python Copperhead. Now, this is kind of funny because I did not own the original Copperhead. I did eventually get the moccasin in a mail away, but it didn't have Copperhead with it. My Copperhead was Python Copperhead. That's the one I got later. And it was a weird figure because, it came with, I want to say, Leatherneck's gun. Well, obviously this one doesn't come with Leatherneck's gun. It comes with the same accessories he came with in his single pack. Do I hate it? No. Do I love it? No. Is it a fantastic homage to the original? No. Yeah. It's, I think I'm going to pass on it just because, it's not anything. And I passed on Copperhead too. I mean, Copperhead was not a character that really stuck out to me in any, he had a couple lines in the cartoon and that was it. Moving forward, we have Python Patrol Officer. Like it, love it, want some more of it, and that that one I actually was my first army builder because I really like that character. I like that figure. I thought that figure worked. Now I was like, okay, that's a good Python Patrol figure, not these bombastic yellow things, but the subtle hints, in the costume. Yeah, that works for me. And so, yeah, I might pick this one up. I always did like that one. I just thought the black and the red, it just worked, and then somehow that blended in with the yellow. Even though design school tells you it shouldn't, but it did. So yeah, that's one I might look at. What else did they reveal? Shockwave. That's a cool looking one. I want to take a look at it closer when it's closer to time, but just the render, it looks cool. Gotta talk about her Helix. Helix is one, man, I was there when they tried to make Helix and they really tried to shove her down our throats a little bit. She was just like the uber, like I'm better than Snake Eyes kind of thing. And it just did not go. Apparently there was a storyline in comics somewhere and somebody made something out of her. But I still remember that initial lead balloon launch, and I'm not beyond that. I really am not, and I've never liked this character. Shot just about, she was just kind of meh. So I'm gonna pass on this one. I'm really surprised she even showed up for one. I didn't realize she apparently developed a cult following. I don't know if you can call it cult following, even. It's just like, some guys are like, yeah, she's cool, I promise. And then people just like, okay. That happens a lot in franchises, I think. I think a lot more than we expect. So, yeah, we'll get up. We'll move on from there. And of course, General Hawk. Here's another one. It's like the render. I'm kind of going, oh man. Digital render doesn't look that good. It is a render, so I may wait and see on that one. It might be okay. It might not. Who knows? Okay, so I'm saving something right now. Yes, it's the Dreadnoks. Buzzer and Ripper. Love it. Love it. I always thought the Dreadnoks were the original Dreadnoks. Now, don't. I think when you start adding Monkey Wrench and then Thrasher, and it kind of started getting a little bit bloated, and they lost the fun aspect of their identities. But when it was Buzzer, Ripper, and Torch, really loved it. Really love those guys. Some people love Rogue Pig. I can give or take or give with him. I will say, I used to hate him. Then I got that Dreadnoks box set that they put out towards the end of the anniversary line. That Rogue Pig turned me around on him. The fact he had a street sign for a shield, that was cool. And he did have the big cinder block on the end of a baseball bat. I love that too. But yeah, I'm all in on Buzzer, Ripper, and Torch. Some people were like, oh no, we didn't get bikes with them. I'm like, no, I'm glad we didn't, because Hasbro will uptick it for $50. I'll have a painful time getting all three Dreadnoks. And then I won't have a bike for Zartan and Zorana. And ultimately Zanzibar. Yeah, that's probably weird of me to say, because I just said Thrasher and Monkey Wrench kind of bloated, and then I said also adding Zorana and Zanzibar, but they're siblings, so that's kind of a different thing. They weren't really bred. No. Okay, so something that brought me a chuckle in the presentation was when they said they put up a graphic with some lettering and said we're going to bring out the SMS, and the people went. You could hear people in the room go, "What's an SMS? What's SMS? What's SMS?" And its chat has an interesting observation that yeah, that's weird. He maintains, and I don't disagree with him, that non-G.I. Joe people are collecting this line. And I think he's right. I think he's more right than we want to believe. Don't want to out this person, because they're a really nice person. I really like them, and I enjoy their reviews. But I was talking to him one day, and he had done a review on Zorana. I was talking about Zanzibar, and that they were brothers. They were siblings to Zartan. He had no idea Zorana was a sibling to Zartan, and I was like, and I almost very stupidly said, "Well, how can you not know it's on the box?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, it's not on Zorana's box. It's not on the classified box." I did kind of make a jab at that in my review of Zorana. So, and that was purposeful. It was absolutely purposeful. That was my jab, is how are people going to know these guys are siblings if you don't tell them? You don't give them like level 4 in sibling. Right, yeah, okay. Then Mutt and Junkyard got revealed out in the lobby. Both look pretty good. I like both of those. And of course the Vamp got revealed. Looking at the Vamp with the picture of the SMS, it looks like they should have washed the Vamp with cold. I heard a couple of people actually say, "Oh no, Vala better look out. They've got this. If this comes out at $175, he better be careful." And I'm like going, "You're joking, right?" This comes out at if the Vamp comes out at $175, I'm sure people will buy it, but they'll be stupid. I mean, this is going to have to be much cheaper than that. It's much smaller. Only sits 2 figures. I don't even think they made room on the back for a gunner. I mean, I used to fake it when I was a kid. I would like put the feet kind of into the gas can holder and just have them on the back, just for fun. Doesn't look like they're even trying to do that on this one. Okay, whatever. 112 vehicles. I mean, people are wanting them. Okay, I get it. I'm not trying to knock you. I just don't. For me, it's going to depend on price and space. And I'll evaluate that closer to their release. The SMS, I mean, that's kind of something that kind of can, you can see a missile system behind somebody. I mean, and the other side of it is like, really, if the missile system is a missile system, use it both for 1/18 scale and 12 scale if you really want it. A vehicle like the Vamp, that doesn't work. So, I mean, I see some more possibilities with the SMF, just in my own. Okay, so I think I wrapped up G.I. Joe. Dragonfly funded, by the way. Yeah, everybody knows that. Yeah, I think that might be my coverage of, just my thoughts on San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of hits, a lot of misses. For the most part, I gotta say, I'm only lukewarm to things. I like some stuff. Yeah. I don't like some others. And some I'm kind of going, okay, well, let's see what it looks like in the final product. That's one thing I don't like about digital renders. You don't really get a good idea until you see a prototype or a painted render a painted one. Painted up. That kind of works for WWE because you kind of know these guys, you know what they look like. It doesn't work for toys because they're changing stuff, and it's okay to change stuff. Don't get me wrong. I like when they change things and make it a little more original. Was there a big winner? I don't think there was a big winner for San Diego Comic-Con. Nobody was killing it. Nobody flopped. It was just kind of there. And again, I am leaning out of classified just because, I'm really just picking up my faves. I do want to see a Techno Viper. Just thought of this. I do want to see a Techno Viper single release with his actual accessories. Love the Techno Viper. That was one of my favorite of the bad guys from 87, I think. It was one of the few bad guys I got that year. Just thought it was a good idea. Battlefield mechanic. Yeah, love it. I would like to see that released in a single release. And I think we will because it's not in its traditional colors. But, at the same time, there were no home runs. There were, and it's kind of funny to me because I hear people say, oh, God, G.I. Joe killed it. Marvel Legends killed it. I'm like, yeah, they had some good stuff, but it wasn't, I wouldn't say killed it. So I don't know where everybody's getting that from. And again, people are just trying to get, people have this bad tendency of being super duper positive for themselves. Okay, fine. But, I just call it like I see them. I tell you what I'm interested in. I know I'm not like everybody else. I accepted that a long time ago. I don't follow the pack. One other thing is that they did reveal the Crimson versions of Tomac, Zaymot, and Baroness. And I know I'm probably going to get heat for this, but I know a lot of people like this, and a lot of people beg for it. And now you got the Crimson Viper too, but man, I hated these designs, and when it was 2000 or 2001, I just thought they looked weird. And I hate them now. I really do. Like the original decos much more. They fixed the Baroness, and I hope that means they're going to put her back out in her original look with these improvements, because that figure sucked. So she deserves to have a regular figure with those fixes. I'm not going to buy the red one just to have the fixes. You can if you want to. I'm not going to get in your way. I'm not going to do it. And, I always thought the red and gold clash. I don't like the gold guns. It's the whole thing. Just I don't understand the gold mask either, but you know. Anyway, that's that. I'm sure somebody will explain it to me later. But yeah, God, this has been a long video. I can already tell. But that's my thoughts on San Diego Comic-Con. I do believe, like I said, a little worn down now. Woo, that guy was there. But you know, overall, I mean, like I said, good stuff, bad stuff. If I had to pick a loser, it's probably Super 7, just because I hate Super 7. Even though they had the castle here, they had the Silver Rock thing, so it almost balances out. And yeah, I think Joe, Marvel Legends, even He-Man, and WWE all kind of hit about the same. I mean, they were all about pretty good. I mean, not great, but pretty good. Yeah, that kind of wraps up my thoughts on what we witnessed. Thank you for listening to me ramble on for however long it's been, and don't forget to like and subscribe.